Hey yo, what is up everybody? It's your boy Dice, aka Dyson. Hope y'all enjoy the video. Peep it. Hey yo, check it. Today's video is most definitely a dope one, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Today we got the Deinonychus from Carnosaur going up against the one and only Velociraptor from the original 1994 Jurassic Park. So yeah, Deinonychus going up against the one and only Velociraptor, aka Raptor, from JP/JW. So without further ado, let's get it. Let's go. I was actually pretty surprised, when I found out that the Deinonychus in this film is actually called the Deinonychus. As many of you know, the Raptors, aka Velociraptors from JP 1994, were actually close, and in fact closer to the Deinonychus than any actual Velociraptor in reality. As raptors were typically small pack animals, small feathered dinosaurs, but the Deinonychus was around the height of a grown man, and it was a powerful, very dangerous predatory carnivore, a dinosaur that would be remembered for its viciousness and brutality. And as we see in the Carnosaur film, they don't hold back with the violence and with the graphic effects. Yes, of course, Jurassic Park will always be a classic, and in my opinion, a superior film, but I do love Carnosaur, and I think that the Deinonychus, compared to the Velociraptors, are very, very cool and interesting, but both are badass in my opinion. Carnosaur definitely has JP beat in the violence/gore department, but yeah, anyways, the Deinonychus is able to be killed with bullets, such as slugs or pellets from a shotgun at close range to the head, but they can take a lot of rounds. And when I say that, I mean they are in fact very durable. Very, very durable, as the Deinonychus in the original film even survived being shot at point blank range with a shotgun blast to the chest. And as you see here, their bite force is very, very horrifically powerful, being able to rip human limbs apart. The Velociraptors from Jurassic Park and Jurassic World are very powerful, but the Deinonychus was shown to be able to kick its foot straight through a human body, among other things. But yeah, they have a powerful bite force, powerful hands with long sharp claws, powerful tail, and sharp clawed feet. Now the Velociraptor, the classic raptor from Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, is basically the same dinosaur when it comes to the actual films themselves and the concept of the dinosaur in question, as they both play pretty much the same role and serve the same purpose in each film. And before I even get into anything about these two specific dinosaurs when going against each other, let me just say that the effects in both films are great, but obviously Jurassic Park has superior effects. It's just clear as day, it's just obvious. But I do think the Carnosaur had some good effects. For the time, it was pretty cool, and despite a few wonky shots, it looked fairly passable for the 90s and pretty good. And I am a fan of classic effects, so there's that. In today's world, we know what scientifically accurate dinosaurs would have looked like, but both Carnosaur and Jurassic Park depict the dinosaurs as much more lizard-like, much more reptilian. While it may be scientifically inaccurate, I think it's very cool. And they knew what dinosaurs roughly would have looked like at the time of the film. They just decided that it would be much, much better to go with these kinds of dinosaurs for the blockbuster film instead of scientifically realistic ones. The Velociraptor from Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, and Jurassic World and its movies are in fact very, very quick. Like an actual Velociraptor, they're said to be able to run at around 25 miles per hour, whereas the Deinonychus on the other hand is relatively slow when compared to actual dinos. The Velociraptors are famous for their clawed hands and clawed feet. They have these talons on their feet that are hooked and curved, enabling them to slice open and gut their prey naturally. And they would have to have a somewhat comparable bite force to both be able to break human necks and decapitate humans with their jaws. And they are in fact both very, very intelligent dinosaurs. These are both reptilian beasts, and today we're going to see who would come out on top. Though I love both of them, We're gonna find out. Without further ado, y'all, let's get it. Fight. The Deinonychus is prowling around, walking through the streets as it senses the presence of another dinosaur. As suddenly, a free velociraptor pounces out from the shadows directly in front of the Deinonychus, hissing at him in the face. This lone velociraptor has the utter balls and the nerve to challenge the Deinonychus. The Deinonychus is not happy about this as it roars in his face, snapping at his throat as the Deinonychus backs up, as then he bites, lunging forward, snapping its jaws onto the hand of the Deinonychus as it pulls him forward towards him, as it then lifts its hand into the air, slashing its claws across the chest of the Deinonychus with both hands, as it then takes its foot and goes to slash its chest and stomach right open with its talons, as the Deinonychus kicks it in the chest, causing him to fly back, slamming down onto the ground on his two back legs. As the raptor comes charging back, the Deinonychus turns around, whipping him in the side of his snout with his tail, causing him to fly to the ground. The raptor gets up and pounces on top of the Deinonychus, digging its nails into him. As it digs its claws deep into his flesh, it opens its mouth, biting the Deinonychus on the back of its neck, sinking its teeth into its fucking neck. Now missing a hand, the Deinonychus then jerks and rams his head and body forward, throwing the raptor off of his back onto the ground. The velociraptor runs, seemingly fleeing, only to do a 360, then turning around to face the Deinonychus once more. It charges as the Deinonychus charges towards it. As they clash into one another, their chests simply slam into one another as they attempt to snap at each other with their snouts before the velociraptor turns around, whipping the Deinonychus with its tail right in the neck. As the Deinonychus bites the velociraptor's tail, pulling it to the ground as it then kicks him in the head viciously. The raptor turns around instantly as the Deinonychus charges at it, slamming its jaws shut on the velociraptor's skull, biting down on its head. He scratches along the hide of the velociraptor, slashing with his long claws as he completely slices open the velociraptor's side with his talons. The raptor breaks free as it rams his head into the chest of the Deinonychus. As the Deinonychus goes to slash him across the face with his talons, the raptor dodges the blow and bites down onto the Deinonychus's neck. The Deinonychus mega kicks the shit out of the velociraptor, sending him flying back as his teeth slide, slicing through his throat on the way off. As his grip is broken by the kick, they charge at each other for one final time. As they run at each other, the raptor outmaneuvers the Deinonychus, biting him on the back of his neck, right on the back of his skull. As then he grips up his head, breaking his neck with one motion, killing him instantly. Winner, raptor. Dice him, I'm outie.